Did you know that couples with high emotional intelligence have an 80% higher chance of long-term relationship success? Yet surprisingly, only 36% of people can accurately identify their emotions in the moment they're experiencing them. Hi, I'm Evelyn Stonebridge, and today we're diving deep into the fascinating science behind emotional intelligence in relationships. What you'll learn in the next few minutes could fundamentally transform how you connect with your partner and yourself. You might be thinking, I'm already pretty good at handling emotions. But here's the thing. Research shows that most of us are operating with emotional blind spots we don't even know exist. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these blind spots are, and more importantly, how to overcome them. Let me share something that happened in my counseling practice last week. A couple sat across from me, both successful professionals, both incredibly articulate about their work lives, yet they were completely stuck in a pattern of emotional disconnection. Sarah, a chief financial officer, told me she felt like she was speaking a different language from her partner James, a software architect. The tools that made them successful in their careers were actually getting in the way of their relationship. This is where the science of emotional intelligence comes in, and it's probably not what you think. First, let's understand what's really happening in your brain during emotional interactions. When you're with your partner, your brain is constantly processing millions of microsignals, facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, all within milliseconds. This happens in what neuroscientists call the social engagement system, a complex network that's specifically designed for human connection. What's fascinating is that this system operates largely below our conscious awareness. It's why you might feel tension in your body before you consciously realize you're in a difficult conversation with your partner. Let's break this down into 4 key components that create what I call the emotional connection matrix. The first component is self-awareness. This isn't just about knowing how you feel. It's about understanding your emotional patterns and triggers. Research shows that people who score high in self-awareness have significantly better relationship outcomes. Why? Because they can identify and communicate their emotional needs before they become relationship issues. The second component is emotional regulation. This is your ability to manage your emotional responses, especially during challenging moments. Think of it like having an emotional thermostat. You're not trying to eliminate emotions, but rather maintain them at a healthy temperature. The third component is social perception, your ability to accurately read and interpret your partner's emotional signals. This is where many couples struggle, especially in our digital age, where we're less practiced at reading in-person cues. The fourth component is relationship management, the practical application of the first 3 components in your daily interactions. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. These components don't operate in isolation. They're interconnected in what neuroscientists call the social brain network. When one area is strengthened, it positively impacts the others. Let me show you how this works in practice. Remember Sarah and James. Their challenge wasn't a lack of communication skills. They were both excellent communicators in their professional lives. Their challenge was in the integration of these 4 components. Sarah would feel frustrated, emotion, but jump straight into problem-solving mode, her professional strength, without acknowledging the emotional aspect. James would sense her frustration, social perception, but withdraw, his habitual response, rather than engage. This created a cycle of disconnection that felt impossible to break. The breakthrough came when they learned to use what I call the pause, process, proceed method. Here's how it works. Pause. When you notice an emotional charge, take a deliberate moment to check in with yourself. This activates your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, and helps prevent emotional hijacking. Process. Identify what you're feeling and what you need. This step is crucial because it bridges the gap between emotional experience and conscious awareness. Proceed. Engage with your partner from this place of awareness, expressing both your emotions and needs clearly. What's remarkable about this method is how it integrates all 4 components of emotional intelligence naturally. It's not about learning new skills. It's about accessing capabilities you already have in a more effective way. Let me share something surprising. Research shows that couples who practice emotional intelligence techniques for just 10 minutes a day show measurable improvements in relationship satisfaction within 2 weeks. It's not about massive changes. It's about consistent, small adjustments in how you relate to each other. Here's another fascinating finding. The way you handle small daily interactions has a bigger impact on relationship satisfaction than how you handle major conflicts. This is what researchers call the micro-moment pattern of relationship success. So, what does this mean for your relationship? It means that every interaction is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional intelligence. Each time you pause to check in with yourself, each time you make an effort to really understand your partner's perspective, you're building neural pathways that make emotional intelligence more natural and automatic. Let's look at some practical applications. I'm going to share 3 specific techniques you can start using today. The first is what I call emotional mapping. Take 2 minutes each morning to identify your emotional state. Just like checking the weather, this simple practice increases your self-awareness throughout the day. The second technique is response tracking. When your partner shares something, practice noting your immediate internal response before you react. This tiny pause can make a huge difference in your interactions. The third technique is connection check-ins. These are brief moments throughout the day where you consciously tune into your partner's emotional state. It could be as simple as making eye contact and sharing a smile. Now, let me tell you what happened with Sarah and James. After implementing these techniques, they discovered something remarkable. Their professional skills weren't the problem. They just needed a new framework for emotional connection. Within weeks, they reported feeling more in sync, better understood, and more emotionally connected than they had in years. Here's your action step for today. Start with the emotional mapping exercise. I've created a free guide that walks you through this process step by step. You'll find the link in the description below. In next week's video, we'll build on these foundations and explore advanced emotional intelligence techniques specifically for conflict resolution. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Remember, emotional intelligence isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, aware, and willing to grow. As your relationship counselor and guide, I'm here to support you on this journey. Thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and share it with someone who might benefit. And I'd love to hear about your experiences with emotional intelligence in relationships. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, this is Evelyn Stonebridge, reminding you that every relationship is a journey of growth, and you're exactly where you need to be right now.